That Pepsi and Shirley join us now. Lovely to see you both. Thank you for coming in. I can't quite believe, Pepsi, that it's 40 years old.
40 years, and it feels like yesterday.
Does it?
You know? Yeah, well, the fact that we went back and we relived some of the moments with our old friends from the original video, it was just like we just sort of fell right back in again. But this time we got to appreciate Sasfe, the place that we actually filmed it. And it was full of giggles still, lots of fun. The community came out to sing the song with us, and there was an unveiling of a statue, a monument, would you believe? And it's just been so, so special.
But it hasn't dated. Like the video, the song hasn't dated and the video hasn't dated.
Some of the hair might have a little.
I don't know, I was trying to recreate a little bit my 80s fringe. But, no, I wish I'd kept that outfit. I love the outfit I've got on. It kind of matches.
It's amazing. Did you ever think that... Because I think when you watch the documentary, what you see is the friendship. You see how strong it is and what a lovely time you're having. Did you ever think it was going to be this iconic? Because actually,
it's just another day's work. Honestly, it's like I think we could have been on tour, and it's like we're going to Switzerland to make a video. So you don't really forethink anything. You're just in the moment. So it's so lovely for me. Like my kids grew up knowing it's part of their Christmas now, and I'm sure once I do have grandchildren, it'll be part of their Christmas. Yeah. So yeah, you just never know. But obviously, working with George Michael, it's going to be a success, whatever he did.
Yeah. What was lovely and is hearing when you all talk about it, and I think, Shirley, you've said this, that George just loved having his friends with him. Yeah. And the reason there's this great camaraderie, and maybe one of the reasons there's such an enduring joy from the video is you all were just mates. Yeah, George got his mates to come along. Yeah. He's like, do you want to come and work? I'll pay you and you can come and be in the pop video.
Yeah, one of the girls that I've known since I was 16, Cheryl, I hadn't seen her for years and years. So we met when we all went back to Sasfe. Yeah. And you look around and you think it's so amazing to have these friends, and we just laugh. There's nothing like going, you know, being with your old friends, just laughing. And that is what the video was about, and that's what George loved, because also this business can be quite lonely. Yeah. So I think he was quite clever, like bringing his mates and having everyone around him.
Yeah, and when you sit around that table, that's actually real wine and real
wine. There was no acting involved in that moment.
You were just having a lovely... Andrew just got more and more sauce.
Yes, as he admits to that. But there's a scene where I'm putting plates on the table, these huge plates. There was no food. There was never any food.
Just the booze.
We've been asked, so what did you eat? And we're like, we don't remember.
They forgot to give us food.
Yeah. And the other thing that Shirley was saying, because Sasfe is quite... I mean, as a resort, did you sort of appreciate where you were?
No, not at the time.
No.
No, because as I say, you're just picked. You're these
it was just another location,
really. You're picked up, put in a car. And you don't get to see anything.
But we did.
So this time we did.
We did walk out. We did have moments where Shirley and I linked arms with our boots, and we're all like really
on the second
insulated from the cold, and we just walked around the village, and
beautiful.
It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
But it's also those moments in the video that you absolutely remember, right? Even without seeing it again, like where you're having the snowball fight.
Yeah.
And George has got his hood up.
There's a reason for that.
It's vanity,
There's a reason for that.
Well, not vanity, bless him, because he was known for his gorgeous blow-dried hair. And when it got the snowball, it went so curly.
Because the thing is, like, don't throw any snowballs. Don't throw it at George. So what do? You just do the opposite and you just throw.
That's the problem with getting your mates in. They won't listen to the director.
They're going to bring him down.
So that was why he had to wear the hood, essentially.
Thank God he had that big hood, because that's a beautiful shot of him, I think, with all the fur around his face.
But that shot's reversed, because what happens is we throw it at him and all the rest of it. And then the thing is, there's a moment where he puts the hood on. So, in fact, if you watch the video, he sort of does this kind of movement, and they had to reverse it.
So you don't see the curly hair.
So you don't see the curly hair.
You don't see the curly hair. All the little insight and stuff.
Yes.
One of the things that's really joyous about the documentary as well, though, you're talking about your memories of George, and all of us are such massive George Michael fans and Wham fans. And Shirley, you were saying how much he loved Christmas.
He really
back then, pre-phones and stuff, he could sort of go out, unrecognisable. You could all go out and do your carol singing.
We did the carol singing. We only knew... None of us knew a whole carol. So we'd do this medley, like...
And they'd say, jingle bells over and over again.
And then they'd say, what else have you got? And we're like, by, then we'd have to run to the next. But this was in quite nice areas like Kensington and Knightsbridge.
Of course.
Yeah,
Nice
very
smart
close.
area.
Very classy.
And he could just be anonymous with
Yeah,
the
because
Yeah.
I think Christmas was bigger than him. You know, everyone's attention was on Christmas,
Yeah.
and he blended in. So that another time, he'd love his friends. He always did beautiful parties at his house. His house was beautiful. And as he got older, he would kind of go for the whole street, put Christmas trees in the street and lights. So it was his time of year. So now we just have to enjoy it on his behalf as well.
I think also what comes across is just how generous he was too. There's those moments. We had Bob Geldof on actually a couple of weeks ago, and he was talking about how George sung the lines of
To
Last
Paula.
Christmas
Yes.
to Paula as he was like recording Band-Aid, and he knew he'd got this song, but he was going to do Band-Aid.
That is a beautiful moment, because the thing is, you know, Band-Aid was bigger than all of us as well. You know, it was an incredible cause, so there was no point in trying to compete with that. But that moment when he sings the words to the song, he realises, look, you know, but that shows confidence as well.
Yeah.
He knew he'd written a really good Christmas song. However, we had to wait 39 years before it got to #1. But here we are again, sharing it.
Hoping it'll get to #1 again this Christmas, please.
And the royalties still go to Band-Aid, right?
Apparently.
He gave the royalties to Band-Aid.
So he wrote one of the greatest Christmas songs of all time.
With
and because
Stump.
it came out of the same year, he just went, do you know what? You get the royalties for this.
It was
Yeah.
Good
amazing
karma, you know. That's why the
Yeah.
song stayed around, I think. It's all good.
Yeah.
Amazing job.
And you said as well, Shirley, that it felt like George was with you while you were out there.
Yeah.
when you
OK,
were-
I've got a
Gosh,
bit of a
yes.
funny story. So I did see a medium last year, and she said to me, oh, he'll be with you in the mountains. And I'm thinking, I don't ski, I don't go to mountains. And then when we're filming it, we're up in a mountain, Swiss chalet, all drinking hot chocolate. And I tell everyone about this story of, say, this lady said to me, George, he will be with me in the mountains. And all of a sudden, there was, like all these trees, they all went like dominoes.
Cascading
And you
trees.
see that, they capture that in the documentary, and everyone's face suddenly, like, you
And
know,
we're like, yo.
he's here.
That's it.
He's
Being
here.
mischievous.
Yes, he's around.
Because at the time when the medium said it to you, you had no idea that you were going to be doing it in a year's time.
I've got it on tape, because I kept listening back saying, mountains, now how can I, why would I go to mountains? And
But
then
there was
a
lots
few
that
months
went
later-
wrong. There was lots
Yeah.
that went wrong.
Oh,
We'd
the
be
plaque.
talking about him and the plaque. Like, for instance, when we went down into the village with the community, and there was an unveiling of a statue, a monument to Wham, because they really love the fact that, you know, we still talk about Sasfay and Wham is there. And we tried to unveil, and everything gets caught. And we're like, this is George. And you know he'd be laughing.
Yeah.
You know he'd be just giggling, like, and just thinking it was the most amusing thing. So he was with us.
That's the thing I think I miss most about him, is his sense of humour, laughing with him like that. And he could really laugh at himself.
Yeah.
And that was always like what was so attractive, that someone who, that huge star, would just take the mickey out of himself.
Yeah.
So.
It is those moments in the doc, actually, where it's like he was hugely talented and just brilliant. But he was also the guy who was like on the plane with his mates in the tracksuit, laughing and joking.
Of course,
What's going to be what's your most memorable moment of him?
Oh, for me, it's when we were younger. Like, that's... you know, he became George Michael, but it wasn't George Michael in my sense. To me, it was my friend who I'd really loved, and laughing with him, his sense of humour. Yeah.
And he would always say, Peps. He'd always start. It's the way he used to say Peps.
Yeah.
And he would say, Peps, do you remember? And he'd break down. He would never get to the point. And we'd just laugh. And I miss that. I miss that a lot.
Just fab. The documentary is absolutely amazing. We loved it, didn't we?
It's gorgeous. And I mean, like the other documentary that you did for Netflix, which was so joyous and was so fabulous, because there's quite a lot of anthology documentaries that seem quite full of angst and drama and trauma, but there's nothing about that with Wham, with you four, with Andrew as well. And it's similarly with this. It's just a great way of celebrating an amazing moment in time.
Absolutely.
Very emotional, though.
Time
Very
for family and friends. Yeah, perfect.
It's perfect.
We loved it. Thank you both for coming and sharing.
Thank
you.
Thank you very much.
you.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, do right. You can watch Wham! Last Christmas Unwrapped on Saturday, 8:35 on BBC Two.
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out, and we'll see you in the morning.